Oklahoma has won 19 straight in Norman, but those have all included Blake Griffin on the floor. That may not be the case tonight against Kansas. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com. The lead in the Big 12 on the line when the Jayhawks step onto the floor to take on the Sooners. Let's bring in our CBSSports.com college basketball columnist Gary Parrish to break this down. And Gary, Blake Griffin is a game-time decision. What did we learn about the Sooners as a roster without Griffin Saturday night in that loss at Texas?
I came away more impressed with Oklahoma probably than I would have been had they won with Griffin. I mean, just the toughness they showed. Willie Warren proving that he's not just Blake Griffin's sidekick. He plays that role well because it's the only role you should be playing. But if he needs to take over games and be the best player on the floor in certain situations, he can be that. And he was that the other night. 10 of 20 from the field, 27 points. He was a star. Let's be clear, though. Blake is as important to his team as anybody is to their team. Stephen Curry at Davidson, Patrick Mills at St. Mary's. We've seen how they've done when their guys aren't around. And Oklahoma's a different team without him. I think they played on emotion a little bit the other night, and Willie Warren got going. But I don't think that this is a team that wants to be trying to beat other top 20 teams like Kansas if Griffin's not in the lineup.
If he cannot go, then it falls on Taylor Griffin, Juan Patillo. What do they bring? What would they have to do against Kansas?
Well, first thing, they got to remember that they can't go get, if Blake's not going, they can't go get those points and rebounds from one other spot, or probably from two or three other spots. He's a special, unique, aggressive, big, strong, quick talent. He's going to be the number one pick in the draft, and there's a reason for that. They just got to play within themselves. Don't try to go out there and say, well, when Blake's out, I'll go get us 24 points and 14 rebounds. You're not going to do that. Play within yourself, and then understand, okay, we've run everything through Blake. Now what? Now let's start maybe turning and depending on Willie Warren a little bit more. And if he wants to prove he's a real star, well, let's let him try to do it twice in 48 hours. I think he's capable. But just so we're clear, everything I'm being told about Blake tonight, they'll watch him all day. But if he can play or anywhere close to playing, they're going to try to let him go.
Yeah, Jeff Capel did say on Sunday that he's not going to hold him out just for precautionary matters. If the doctors say he can go, he's going to go. Of course, we're taping this here on Monday morning. Gary, when you talk about Kansas, it's kind of shocking at the beginning of the year to think where they were to where they are now at 11-1 in the conference. A lot of that has to do with Sharon Collins, but a lot of that has to do with the development of Cole Aldrich. And if Blake Griffin is not 100%, you got to think his chances of a huge day and big impact are that much higher.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing about this game. You want Blake to play because you want to see that classic Griffin-Aldrich matchup. I mean, those are two lottery pick type guys. Aldrich averaging 15 points, 10 rebounds. Those are phenomenal numbers for everybody not named Blake Griffin. What Kansas is doing is remarkable. Anybody who thinks it's easy to lose all five starters from a national title team and just pick up like this should go back and revisit what happened to Florida last year when they made the NIT. This Kansas team is performing at a level way better than I thought. And I know some of the skeptics will say the Big 12 is not that tough, but the computer rankings, and I'll touch on those a little later on today in the blog, actually suggest the Big 12 is right up there as competitive as any league in the country. Missouri's way better than people thought. Kansas State's playing better. Texas is always going to be Texas. Nebraska's been a tough out this year, and yet still, Kansas is 11-1 in the league, 22-5 overall. It's a remarkable coaching job, and I would argue maybe Bill Self's doing a better job this year than he did last year. Hey, look, a lot of us could go out and win a lot of games with Darrell Arthur, Mario Chalmers, Brandon Rush, so on and so forth. It's a little different when you've got five new starters and you're trying to make it gel like this and learn on the go. He's been great.
Yeah, and they're learning how to hit the three-pointers, and they did so against Nebraska on Saturday. Gary, I know it's tough because it all depends on whether Blake Griffin plays or not, but pick your winner.
Yeah, will you let me hedge a little bit? If Griffin plays, I'll take the Sooners. If not, I think they're going to have a hard time winning the game. I mean, I know they looked good the other night at Texas in his absence, but I think a lot of that was emotion, and Willie Warren just got going in a way. Not only was he making great plays and making great shots, he was banking shots in. I mean, he got in one of those zones where, if anybody gets in a zone like that, they can carry their team for 20 minutes. It's a little harder to play for 40 minutes without your star. If he doesn't go, I think Kansas wins the game. If he does play, I think it's going to be tough for Kansas to go into Norman and win.
All right, Gary Parrish, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jason.
We'll see if Oklahoma can beat the Jayhawks for the first time in 4 years. For more on this game or any other this week, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. For Gary Parrish, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.